Everyone, respected HOD sir, dear my colleagues, professors, and my dear students. It's a matter of great privilege and pleasure for me to introduce today's eminent speaker, Dr. S.M. Yadav sir. Sir has graduated from BVM Engineering College, Vidyanagar, and sir received his MTech and PhD degree from SVNIT Surat in the field of water resources engineering. Sir has so far published more than 40 papers in national and international journals and conferences, including Scopus paper. 6 students have already been awarded PhD degree under Sir's supervision, and at present, 10 students are PhD students are doing research under Sir's supervision. Sir is very much involved in consultancy work, and Sir has presented so many lectures internationally, which include USA, UK, Netherlands, Oman, Dubai, Australia, Sri Lanka, and many more countries. It is Sir is an internationally renowned personality. And if I present a whole biodata, it may consume whole hour. So without wasting further time, I will request Sir to deliver his talk.
Thank you, Dr. Jayes. I thank Parul University, Director, Head of the Department, faculty members, coordinator of this particular webinar, and student fans, and the participants who are attending this particular webinar. I am trying to present various opportunities in the field of water resources engineering. At the same time, I will try to show you the future challenges also, or the areas where the one who wants to do some innovative work, those areas of water resources engineering, that also I'll be touching in this particular presentation. So my presentation outline contains, first of all, what is water resources engineering, why water resources engineering, and very importantly, what is the role of water resources engineer. And then I will show you number of applications areas. Water resources broadly relates to the assessment of the quantity, quality, and variability of groundwater and surface water. It includes both the studies related to groundwater and studies related to surface water. Water resources engineering is the field that is primarily responsible for water and tackles the planning, development, and management of water resources. In addition to assessing how and the best ways in which to control water related activities such as irrigation, waste disposal, and canal development. Water resources engineers are also frequently involved in water management to ensure that it's safe to drink both for humans, plants, and animal usage. As you are aware, that surface water makes up about 71% of the planet water, and out of that just 3% of Earth's water is a fresh water, according to the Bureau of Reclamation. Water scarcity, if we talk about water scarcity in India, then water scarcity in India is an ongoing water crisis in India that affects nearly 1 million people each year. In addition to affecting the huge rural and urban population, the water scarcity in India also extensively affects the ecosystem and agriculture. India has only 4% of the world's freshwater resources, despite a population of over 1.3 billion people. Water scarcity in India also results from drying up of rivers and the reservoirs in the summer months, right before the onset of the monsoon throughout the country. The crisis has especially worsened in the recent years due to climate change, which results in delayed monsoon, consequently drying out reservoirs in several regions. You know that 2019 Chennai water crisis was a water crisis occurring in India, most notably in the city of Chennai in Tamil Nadu. And in the history of water and water resources of India, dark day, that is day 0, 19 June 2019, for Chennai city, officials declared that day 0. What is the meaning of day 0? Or the day when almost no water is left and had been reached as all the 4 main reservoirs supplying water to the city had run dry. 2 years of deficient monsoon rainfall, that is in 2017 and 2018, has led to this particular crisis. And I am not afraid to say that if we are not recharging our resources, this may be the situation of many cities in coming 5 years. However, the Ministry of Jal Shakti is very much taking number of steps to recharge water and to avoid this situation which has been created in Chennai in 2019. These water resources engineers, what is the role of water resources engineer? Sometimes it feels that fine, suppose if I take a career as a water resources engineer, right, what I can do, what may be my roles? So the role of water resources engineer are: water resources engineer is responsible for the planning, development, management of water resources. The main task of these engineers is to ensure access to clean, safe drinking water, build and manage the water index, the water treatment plants, and the network of pipes that convey water to your tap. They design, construct, or maintenance of stormwater harvesting and reuse systems, wastewater treatment systems, desalination systems, construction of dams, construction of pipelines, construction of pumping stations, locks, or seaport facilities. Planning, design, and construction of hydraulic structures like dams, canals, and coast drainage works also falls as a responsibility for water resources engineer. This water resources engineer is responsible for overall planning, development, and management of water. This the main task of this engineer to ensure safe and clean drinking water to human beings, to animals, as well as that of the plant. The design, construct, or maintenance of stormwater harvesting and reuse system, what wastewater treatment system, desalination systems, these are also the areas where the water resources engineer look critically. The water resources engineers utilize a number of fundamental skills and specialization. Now, what water resources engineer can do? What a water resources engineer can do? So, the water resources engineer can do following things. What are these? That analysis of observed data, development of conceptual and numerical models for the hydrological cycle, design and developments of plants using industry standard methodologies, feasibility and option analysis, technical and commercial reporting, public consultation and presentation, options appraisal including cost estimation, program or project management, assessment of uncertainty and risk including extreme events, for example floods and droughts, root cause analysis and problem solving, analytical review of peers work, advising on best management of water in its natural state. So these are some of the areas, some of the points which I have included in this presentation, where the water resources engineer utilize his fundamental skills and specialization. The application areas, there are various application areas in which the water resources engineer work. The first is infrastructure services. Three basic infrastructure services, that is water distribution network, stormwater management, and that of the drainage network. So these are the three main areas in which the role of water resources engineer is as a key person. For the first infrastructure facility, if we'll see, it is the design of water distribution system. As you know that the basic components of water distribution system are source of supply, to identify or to find out the source of supply, the processing or treatment of the water, and third is the distribution of water. For all these three components, the role of water resources engineer is critical and crucial. The source of supply, when we talk of infrastructure facilities at water supply scheme, we need to identify the source. The source can be a surface water, which may be a river, reservoir, lake, or canal. It can be a subsurface water, that is groundwater, infiltration galleries and wells, and intake structures. the processing or treatment of the water, that is water treatment plant, the distribution of water to the users, that is the storage and distribution reservoir, what we call it as elevated service reservoir or ground storage reservoir, distribution lines which take water from main or which take water from the source, maybe elevated service reservoir or underground storage reservoir through pumping to various stakeholders, that is tap individual house step up to individual house step, the water is carried through distribution lines. The softwares used for the design for infrastructure service water supply network, they are look for Epanet, Bentley and WaterJets. There are many more softwares which can also be used for the design of water supply distribution network system, but these are among them which can be utilized for the design of water supply network. This is a screenshot of the Loop software and Bentley WaterGen software and Epanet, how the result looks or how the analysis is carried out. Then the second infrastructure facilities, as you know, when there is a rainfall. Hello, am I audible? Jayes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Clearly audible, sir.
Okay. So, okay. So, second infrastructure services that includes stormwater system. You know, if there is a few inches of rainfall in your city or in your area, your street gets flooded. So, after some days or after the execution of storm drainage network has been done successfully in area, you find that the ponding of water is no more ponding of water you find in the streets. So how is it possible? It's possible through stormwater systems. And who look after it? So stormwater management. So water resources engineers look after the design, execution of stormwater drainage system. At the same time, stormwater management system. So stormwater management is the effort to reduce runoff of rainwater or melted snow into streets, lawns and other sites, and the improvement of water quality. Stormwater system is a network of structures, channels and underground pipes that carry stormwater, that is rainwater, to pond, lakes, stream and rivers. The various software used for the stormwater development are Bentley Stormwater Management Model SWMM, Stormwater Drainage System and Analysis Drains, Urban Drainage and Sewer Model MOUSE, Hydrological Simulation Program Fortran, Distributed Routing Rainfall Runoff Model, Drain Urban, Quality Quantity Simulators, Storage Treatment Overflow Runoff Models and many more. So these are the few list of softwares which can be used for the design of infrastructure services like stormwater management. The third important service where the water resources engineer plays key role is sewerage system. So someone will say, sir, it is a sewerage system, so the environmental engineer comes into the picture. Fine, the environmental engineer may take care of quality of water or the treatment parameters required for treating the wastewater. But as far as the hydraulics of water is concerned, that is water flowing from the houses to take it up to the treatment plant, and in the treatment plant also in the various treatment processes, the role of water resources engineer is a key factor or very important. In this case, there is a topic called environmental hydraulics. That is a special topic which you can call it as an environmental hydraulics, where the principles of hydraulics are employed to solve or to treat the wastewater. As far as the component of sewer systems are concerned, receiving drains, manholes, sewer line, sewage treatment plant, and finally disposal into the source, right? Whatever may be the source where you are disposing of the treated water. What are the softwares used for design of sewerage systems? So sewer cats and sewer gems. Again, I'll repeat that the software names which I am presenting here, that is only for the purpose of information. As I
Hello. Hello. Hello, sir. You are not audible. Hello. Hello. Am I audible, sir?
same time they
Hello. Hello, sir. You are not audible. Hello. Hello. Huh? Hello. Sir, you are left from this link. Sir. Yes, sir.
hello.
Yeah, you are back now, sir.
Okay, okay, I'm presenting once again.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is my presentation visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible.
Hello. Okay, so from which side I left?
Design of
This I
sewer.
have shown.
No, no.
Hello.
Design of sewer.
This was shown. No?
Design of sewer, sir.
Right now it is design. Right now it is design of sewer on my screen. What is in your screen?
Infrastructure services.
Yeah, infrastructure services. The point is design of sewer system. Is it that?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was the
Okay.
slide. This was the
Okay.
slide.
Then now Surat Municipal Corporation now.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. You were left from here. You were
Uh,
left from here.
Okay, okay, okay. So, water resources engineer works in the Surat Municipal Corporation or any corporation or any Nagar Palika or any of the city wherein there is a department of water supply, department of drainage, and department of stormwater, right? Management. So, drainage probably they take care of stormwater management also. So, here the civil engineer who is working in this area need to have good knowledge of hydraulics or water resources. So this slide I have specifically included in my presentation to show you that where a water resources engineer can work. This is another department, that is the drainage department, and this slide is taken from Surat Municipal Corporation website, and number of engineers are working in this drainage department, right? Then the next area is hydraulic structures, and when we talk of hydraulic structures, the major hydraulic structure as a water resources engineer one come across for the design, planning, and management is that of the dams. You know that the dams may be a single purpose dam or dam may be multiple purpose dam. So when dam is having a single purpose, it could be irrigation, and when it is a multi-purpose dam, it may have irrigation, hydropower, reaction, water supply, flood prevention, etc. There are various types of dams worldwide are used for the storage of water, like earthfill dam, rock fill dam, concrete dam, and stone masonry dams at a small extent, timber dams worldwide. Somewhere it may be used very in a very small amount, and that of the steel dams. This is a picture of Sardar Sarovar Dam. Many of you, those who are from Gujarat, might have seen this particular dam. It is one of the major dam of Gujarat, and it is constructed across Narmada River, and it's a multi-purpose dam which produces electricity as well as supplies water up to the state of Rajasthan, which have the longest canal network. So it is the second largest concrete gravity dam built on the Narmada River in Navagam near Kevadia, Narmada district in Gujarat. The beneficiaries are four states: Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Rajasthan. As you know, that foundation stone was laid in 61, but it was constructed completely. It was constructed in the year 2017. It is a part of the Narmada Valley project, a large hydraulic engineering project, large irrigation and light hydroelectric multipurpose dams on the Narmada River. And such dams are the areas or where the water resources engineer can work. So this is the site of Sardar Sarovar Narmada Nigam Limited. This is specifically what we can say dedicated site for the management of Sardar Sarovar Dam, that is Narmada Dam, and the resources generated out of that of the Sardar Sarovar Dam. Okay, then the other hydraulic structures like weirs and barrages, they are constructed across the canal, or it can be constructed across the stream or river. The cross drainage works, where the hydraulic engineer can plan, do planning also and designing also. There are various types of cross drainage work, like cross drainage work carrying canal over the drain, cross drainage work carrying drainage over the canal, cross drainage work admitting canal water into the canal, that is level crossings. Then you can have the various types of hydraulic structures which allows water to flow safely from the, or discharge safely from the dam, which is the part called spillways. So various types of spillways and their designs, the canals, waterways which carries water from what we can say the dam to the furthermost point, or it can be a navigation canal, it can be a irrigation canal. As you know that India is also planning for national waterways, and in coming days the role of canals, specifically navigation canals, that will be what we can say gain importance, and this is also one of the area in which water resources engineer can work. As far as the open channel is concerned, water resources is, it is one of the major part of water resources engineer. And when water flows through open channel, how to manage and maintain the water, that is a significant one, specifically in design of the structures which are coming across the flowing water, and the types of flows which one will come across when it will be designing these structures. One has to be take care of it, and accordingly the open channel flows can be managed or planned. The other area of uh, where water resources engineer can work is irrigation engineering, which includes different types of irrigation engineerings. The ministry is advocating use of drip irrigation and sprinkler irrigation, so that the water can be saved, and with less quantity of water more benefits can be derived. So laying of the pipelines and sprinklers are to be involved in the directing water from dams, canals, and rivers. The work is done in the field to evaluate terrain, soil, and climatic characteristics to optimize the use of water for loans and that of the agriculture crops. I hope some of you may be aware that in case of canals of branch canals of Sardar Sarovar project, that is Narmada main canal and the branch canals, of taking from the main canals, when it reaches up to the farm level, there they are also going for laying of the pipelines instead of carrying water on the surface. So that is also one of the area where the water resources can engineer can work, where he can plan, design and execute the pipelines which is required to carry the required quantity of water to use watershed area or use agriculture area which is required to be irrigated. So then when we talk about the canals, the designs of canal, maybe it is a line canal, maybe it is an unlined canal, that is also the responsibility of the water resources engineer. This is a website which shows many projects, upcoming projects, policies, etc. about water resources engineering. As I said, at Ministry of Jal Shakti, Department of Water Resources, Redevelopment and Ganga Regeneration. This is the department which take care of water resources of our country, and there is a ministry of environment which take care of
Hello. Hello.
So then the most important
सर सॉरी अच्छा लेफ्ट गया. Yes, sir, you are back.
okay, okay. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Sorry for the internet connection, internet problems.
Yes, sir. We cannot do anything about technical glitch.
So, okay. So you can see hydrology slide, hydrology.
Hydrology slide. It is
Hello.
visible. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So I was discussing about the hydrology. Hydrology is the science that deals with all aspects of the water available on the earth. It includes study of occurrence of water, its properties, its distribution and circulation, and also its effects on the living beings and their surroundings. It is not entirely a pure science because it has many practical applications and it utilizes knowledge of other sciences greatly. The subject of hydrology mainly involves assessment of catchment rainfall, assessment of dependable flow, design flood computations, assessment of losses, calculation of useful life and capacity of reservoirs. Then comes the most important area, that is sediment transportation, and has gained a significant importance because of deposition of sediments in the reservoirs. At the same time, when we want to use the channel as a navigation channel, we need to know what is the characteristic of the river as far as the deposition of sediments are concerned into the stream or in the river. The practical application of hydrology that can be used for peak flow and future condition of flow, spillway capacity, designing of spillway capacity, design of river training works, dependable yields from the stream for generation of hydroelectric power, water supply to township and sewerage schemes, water resources account of a river basin, reservoir capacity, operation of reservoirs, all this can be done using the knowledge of the hydrology. The other significant area, that is flood forecasting, one can work, the water resources engineer can work in this area of flood forecasting and warning, in which he can not only model it, the entire basin, how the flow, how much runoff will be generated from the river basin, right? What will be the water level at which place, after what time? This all is possible using that of the modeling. And doing this modeling, one can forecast the flood, at what time, how much amount of water will reach. All this is possible using that of the learning various flood forecasting techniques. So the various flood forecasting technique includes, based on correlation coaxial diagrams, multiple linear regression, hydrological models, that is runoff, rainfall runoff models. There may be a different types of rainfall runoff models like lumped, quasi distributed, distributed, routing techniques, that is lumped and distributed, hydraulic models, softwares like HACRUS, HMS, which uses dynamic routing, data driven hydrological models like artificial neural network, fuzzy experts, and fees, etc. Then comes the another area which is very important and significant, which is river training works. And in case of river training works, guide banks, marginal banks, grounds, spurs, etc. may be designed, may be executed in rivers to protect certain areas from floodings, right? So these flood mitigation measures can be divided into two categories: structural measures and non-structural measures. When it comes to the structural measures, levees, spur, grounds, and dredging are some of the measures which can be used for the purpose of flood mitigation. There are non-structural measures also, which uses the non-structural measures, and by non-structural measures as development of early warning systems, right? And making people aware with rising water level. All this may be included in what you can say the non-structural measures. I will like to show you that the flood prevention through dredging and river draining work at Ghagra River, Uttar Pradesh, which will give you real idea that how dredging work can be used, or how this can be used for the purpose of dredging can be used for the purpose of what we can say the river training work. Dr. Jess, my video is visible. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dr. Jess, my video is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. I can see it. It is visible, sir.
Okay.
But yeah, only first slide is there. It is not playing. Now it is playing.
Hello.
Okay, fine, fine.
So this was the work which was done as a dredging channel. As I have said you that it can be used for the purpose of flood mitigation purpose, and this is a live example where and how the water resources engineer can work in case of dredge channel or flood mitigation measure. So this video have shown you that the huge quantity of silt which has been excavated from the river bed, and how a channel has been excavated in the center of the river to pass the flood water safely without cutting or without eroding the side channels, at the same time protecting the villages which are on either side of the bank. The another important subject of water resources is water resources system, in which we go for the economic analysis of water resources systems, and not only that, the various alternatives when it is proposed that which alternative been used for the purpose of execution, there we have to compare the various possible alternatives, and out of these alternatives the best alternative is required to be chosen. So this type of study is required to be carried out by water resources engineer in water resources system engineering, and he can guide through the systematic calculations that out of the various alternatives available for a particular proposal, for a particular proposal, which one is to choose. Not only that, the optimization techniques which are very widely used in this area of water resources, conventional techniques like linear programming and dynamic programming, and other soft computing techniques like fuzzy logic, genetic algorithm, ANN. This can be as a modeler. This is also a this is also of a use to water resources engineers. The simulation of water resources systems, simulation means how the system will work if you have different types of scenarios and you want to try to find it out, the specific system which you wanted to study, how it will behave for a different type of scenarios, that is possible through simulation of water resources system. The another important area where the water resources engineer can work is river regeneration. The river regenerations, specifically regeneration of polluted rivers, and this is one of the major area in the area for India and Indian rivers and streams. As we know, one of the most prestigious project, that is Ganga regeneration, which constitutes restoring the wholesomeness of river Ganga, and and it is defined in terms of ensuring aviral dhara, that means continuous flow, and nirmal dhara, that means unpolluted flow with geologic and ecological integrity. This is one of the largest project in our country where the Ganga regeneration has been carried out. I will like to show one more video which will give you idea that how water resources engineer can work in the area of river rejuvenation. It is a short video, it's not a long video like which I have shown you earlier, wherein the narrating has used scientific which is probably it's Jazz bhai, it is visible.
No, no, sir, yet not.
Jazz bhai,
Yeah, not yet.
okay, 1 minute. I visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Jazz bhai,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible.
it is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Voice is not there, sir. Only video we can see. Voice is not there.
So this was the another video which shows that how the regeneration work, as I said, Nag River. So how the regeneration work is carried out for the rebeds. The groundwater, as you know that I have said in the beginning that 19 June 2019 was the zero day for city of Chennai. Hence, if you will not look at the groundwater and groundwater resources of our country, probably it may run out of water in near future. And therefore, the role of water resources engineer to recharge the water, to study the various types of aquifers, conditions of aquifers, up to what level the water is stored, which water can be used, how the water can be recharged, and to work as a consultant, at the same time execute these water resources structures, recharge structures. That is one of the upcoming area in which a water resources engineer can work. The categorization of assessment units of water resources, you will see all red are the dark areas where the water has been over exploited. This is another website of central government, central groundwater board, GCGWB, the area where the water resources can get employment and work here as an engineer to protect, prevent, recharge the groundwater qualities. Another important aspect which is required to be taken care by water resources engineer is climate change. I will not go into the details of what is climate change, why is climate change, what is climate variability, but I will like to touch what happens due to climate change. So this is the picture of 25/7/2020. It is from South Gujarat, and where you find that Umarpada region received 203 mm, that is 8 inch of rainfall in 4 hours. So for water resources engineer, this is a challenge. How to design the infrastructure which can cope up with such a high intensity rainfall in a shorter duration. This is the website of Indian Meteorological Department. As far as the hydrology and meteorological forecasts are concerned, the forecast issued by IMD has improved a lot, and the hydrology studies of hydrology at India at this country level, that has improved a lot, and where the water resources engineer can work in these particular areas also. What happens due to climate change which are impacting the water resources engineers is droughts, floods, water supply shortage and distribution, poor water quality, disrupted watershed processes. Hence, these are the challenges which a water resources engineer can face in future, that they have to give solution to tackle with this kind of situation which will be increasing day by day in future. This is the picture of 2016 drought in case of Maharashtra. Specifically, I will like to stress more upon the figure D, which is a cattle camp in drought hit regions of Maharashtra. It is during period of 2013, when there was a drought in case in the some part of the Maharashtra, and due to that the people have migrated to a specific location where you can see the cattle, thousands and hundreds of cattle along with human beings. They have been kept in these cattle camps, and they were protected till the drought situation in that particular area. Remote sensing, GIS and GPS, without touching that, if I will be completing this particular webinar, it is considered to be an incomplete webinar. This have a great potential as far as the water resources is concerned, like delineation of surface body, estimate of meteorological parameter, estimated fluxes, estimate of hydrological state variables, soil moisture conditions, like many. Not only that, you have number of applications, management of geospatial data, hydrological management, modeling of groundwater, quality analysis of water supply management, sewer management, flood disaster management, etc. This is the monsoon prediction for Indian region for 2020. Again, this is the website of MOSDAC, and wherein you can find all the forecasts. This is again a very important and useful website, which is ISRO, Government of India, and you can get lot of information from this ISRO website, wherein the water resources engineer can work as a scientist. This is the Ministry of Renewable and New and Renewable Energy, wherein one of the component is hydropower, and one of the lucrative area in which the water resources engineer can work. As far as the conservation of water concern, as we have said that there is an acute shortage of water, and in coming days the water scarcity may become acute. The water conservation experts, various techniques which will be suggested by the water resources engineers, this can be used for the preservation of water resources engineer. There is a short video which shows how the water can be conserved through the roof water storage, but because of lack of time I am skipping that. The water resources engineer can work as a software developer and modeler. You can see here sometimes the students, specifically girl students, they feel that if we will become a water resources engineer, right, how whether we will get job or whether we can work in this area or not. So for that I have included this specific slide where you can see this Miss Jeba Gress. She is working as a modeler for DHI. DHI is one of the leading water company of the world, and as an junior water engineer, she is working in the DHI. The top 10 water resources institutes for world, if someone is interested in carrying out further research in case of water area, that is National University of Singapore, Nanyang Technological University Singapore. This is one of the interesting slide. Delft University of Netherlands, which is very much popular worldwide as far as infrastructure, drinking water and wastewater management is concerned. University of California, Wageningen University, Netherlands, Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, Gaojang Institute of Science and Technology, South Korea, Penn State University of US, Tishanghua University of China, University of Waterloo, Canada. This is some of the few universities which are good for water resources engineering research and studies. As far as the water resources management is concerned, conservation is concerned, development is concerned, Australia is one of the country who has taken extreme care of their water resources. And one of the center, that is International Water Center, Griffith University, Australia, is again the choice of researchers who wanted to carry out further research in the, what you can say, in this area. As far as India is concerned, there are good training centers, that is Water Institution of India, CWRS Pune, NERI Nagpur, right, Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, that is Dehradun, right, IMD Pune, in National Institute of Oceanography. These are all some of the, what we can say, institutes where the water resources engineer can work. So Dr. Jayas, I think my time is over, so I will stop here, and if you have any question I can take it up.
Yes, sir. One of colleague has asked that Ahmedabad has done very good project on riverfront development. Similarly, we can something do for Viswamitri, Vadodara.
Yeah, actually for riverfront project we have to check number of factors and number of parameters, and based on that the project may be designed, right? So as it has happened in case of Ahmedabad, it may or may not be possible for Vadodara. So you need to look at the geographical parameter, the discharge, the width of the river, the settlement on either side of the river. So looking all that, all these parameters, one can plan for it. So sometimes it may not be possible to do the riverfront project exactly where the river is passing through the center of the city. It can be taken up little far away, little distance away. But again, it's a question that whether we have to go for it or not.
Okay, right, sir. Right, sir. Thank you very much for your session. What an informative session it was, and I'm sure students are sensitized about this branch, Water Resources Engineering and Management. Sir has explained almost everything about it, starting from the water supply system and sewage design system. Then Sir talked about the hydraulic structures, irrigation engineering scope of view, and Sir explained how these channels are designed, types of the channel, and finally Sir talk about the river rejuvenation. Very in need of the hour, I can say. Most of our river needs the rejuvenation. So very important topics sir is discussed, and also lastly sir show us the adverse effect of the natural disaster. So thank you very much sir, for despite of your busy schedule you accepted our invitation and talk to our students. In future also we would like to hear from you sir. Let me say one more thing, I am also the student of the sir, and I have learned so many things from sir. Attended to FDP under QI program organized by the Yadav sir, and where I have learned the fuzzy logic and many research technologies from sir. So once again, thank you one and all for today's talk. President today's talk. Listen to sir carefully. Thank you very much, sir. Good day, sir.
Thank you, Jayesh. I thank the authority of Parul University as well as the authority of SVNIT, right, who has given me opportunity to present this webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Please stop the recording. Hello. Hello. Please stop the recording.